Final video tutorial. I'm going to show you how to export this out into Unreal game engine. So there's a couple of tricks, and the first one is to go and download Unreal. And so it'll give you a launcher, and then what have you download pretty big significant file. So some of you may not be able to do this because this is, I had to delete a whole bunch of stuff in my program. And so I have one with my Grasshopper already in there, but I'm going to go ahead and start again. It's going to take you a couple hours to download Unreal Game Engine, but I think it's good to go ahead and start learning a little bit of it. So I just hit Games, and you can set up whatever. I think I did a blank just to get some simple lighting, and I'm going to do maximum quality. Just have, I think everything on default is fine. All right, and hit create projects. Again, Unreal is huge. I had to delete almost 60 gigabytes of all the videos that we've done so far for the dumpster. Was uploaded to Google Drive. It is also on YouTube already, but I had to get rid of it off my computer. So yeah, just make sure your computer can ventilate and cool off, because this does run pretty heavy once it's working. All right, so Unreal is very similar to Substance and Maya, where you use Alt or Option as is your friend. Also, you can select things and hit F, just like in Maya, and be able to spin around using that as your focal point. So if I hit that table and I hit F again, it should center it, and so when I rotate around, it should be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete some of this stuff just because don't need it, and it's not our purpose. So you can see where it looks like they baked in the shadows. I'm not sure why that's still there, but anyways, setting up your scene, very simple like that. You can see you have nothing in my assets, and so I'm going to go over back into my Substance and go ahead and bake out my object and also my textures. So I'm going to go ahead and export textures. And we got global settings, default matte, and right now I'm going to go ahead and tell it to go into Grasshopper, and I've already had something already set up, Grasshopper Unreal, and I'm going to hit open. It's going to override this stuff that I already made there before. So it has Unreal already packed, and if you guys are doing Unity, it'll probably do the standard of these. I think you have to undo all those for Unity. But we're going to do a packed, and I haven't done a SS. I think that's a skin shader, but I'm just going to go ahead and do the packed, and I may do another tutorial later to show what the SSS does. All right, so I did PNG. Did 16-bit and also did a 4K. I didn't do 8K, and I don't think we need any of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and export the 4 textures. So you can see it's doing emissive, normal, occlusion, and base color. So it's packing in a lot in those 4 channels. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit cancel, and then I'm going to go ahead and export my mesh. Again, this is your low, either level 1 or 2, and some of you even did level 3. Apply triangulation, that's fine. Hit export, and again, I'm dumping it in the same folder I had, so it's going to override this one. So Grasshopper 4, and I'm going to hit replace, of course. All right. So that's it, and I did not do the Unreal packed SSS material. So one of the things you do want to do is enable in Unreal the Substance Painter plugin. So if you don't have that on, it'll make it just kind of look weird. So I'm not going to do a new project, but I'm going to come down here and import my assets. And we're going to go ahead and go back and do my Grasshopper. And Unreal and Textures. Let's go ahead and select it all. And you don't need your MTL file. I'm not sure why that's in there. And we're going to hit open. All right, so it's dumping everything in here. And this is asking about my static mesh. So if I was had some animation or some rigging, we'd go a little bit more involved with that. So we're going to go ahead and hit import all. All right, and you can see all my textures showing up. And I'm going to go ahead and dump my character. I set up the scene and I was bringing up the Grasshopper and I accidentally hit the stop record button. So anyways, you just want to hit WE is rotate and R is scale. So W, just kind of pull it up just like in Maya. And this may have snapping on. Turn that on so it's a little bit smoother. All right, so you can smooth it and hit rotate. And then get it just kind of standing in the right position. I'm going to scale this up big time because it's hard to kind of see the details once you go into the play mode. So just make it big and bold, right? All right, and so what we're going to do is go ahead and create a new material. And call it Cricket. All right. And so Cricket, you can see is just kind of a gray default, probably diffuse. So I'm going to double click it, and we've already imported our other textures, and so I'm just going to go ahead and drag in the diffuse, and see our diffuse is on there, and so I'm going to get my RGB and go right to my base color. All right, so you should be able to see our colors here. And it should be some, it's a little bit brighter than normal, but those should be nice and black and richer than it is right now. All right, so our next one is going to be normal. This is, says it right on there, normal, and you take that RGB and go right to normal. All right, and again, we're going to go to this one. This one has a lot packed into it. So R is red, RGB is R is going to be dragged over to, and all I'm doing to drag it is taking my left mouse, I'm really tired, mouse button, and taking the RGB and taking it over to the roughness patch. Okay, right there. And the green, I am going to take it over to, actually, green was supposed to be roughness, and then R is ambient occlusion, so right here. And so all those things that we wanted to pack out earlier are being shuffled around, and then this is our metallic, which is kind of like our shininess pass. All right, so you can probably see if we zoom in here, you can see all those little bumps that we can have done in the past should start showing up here. All right, so we want to go ahead and apply that. And basically it's just going to pack our shading into here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. And so if you can see our Cricket, just go ahead, don't select the ground, but select the Cricket, a little bit different interface than Maya. And then we're going to just drag that right onto the selected Cricket. And you should start to see that Cricket showcase. Mine is a lot lighter, I feel like, than my scene, than my substance. So I'm just going to hop back there. You guys can tell me if I'm seeing something, but there is a lot of white here. It is pretty bright and white here. So I think it's blown out. Again, you can go into ramps and develop your shader system, so you can probably adjust that. That's the cool thing about Unreal, is that you can adjust this with some different ramps and shaders and so forth. So basically what I'm going to do is taking the light that's in the scene, which is, let's see, I think there's multiple lights. Maybe there's this one. Okay, it's kind of pointing downward. And I'm going to go ahead and warm this up a little bit so it's not so bright. Okay. All right, and also my intensity, I knocked that really far down, and I'm trying to use, and when you do this, why I'm showing you how to do this light, it'll show you to enable Substance Painter plugin, and you'll just enable it and say yes. This is really important that will show that, and I've already done it, unfortunately, so you're not going to get to see it. I'm trying to see if we can do a drop shadow in real time. Anyways, lots and lots and lots of stuff to cover in UnReal. That's a whole other class, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and we can see our character. And you can see on the ground the drop shadow, and you can see all our beautiful work that we did. See it from different angles. It's a little bit darker now in the scene. And the reason why I made it bigger, so you can see all those little bumps that we added onto the top bridge are being shown. All right, so again, in the play mode, you can see more detail than stop mode. Hopefully you can hear me over the chirping that's happening right now. I'm gonna go to the other side, different side, a little bit darker. All right, pretty good. You can see a little bit of my bad work over here where I didn't have symmetry on the other side. But again, not bad for millions of polygon points and 4K texture maps sitting on this in real time. All right, I'm gonna stop it there, and to stop it, hit escape. And again, it's a little bit darker. Some weird stuff. I'm sure it would probably be playing better, but anyways, you can see those little micro dots. I'm trying to show you the micro dots here on the surface, and I should have made those some sort of pigment color instead of just these micro dots. Anyways, I know you guys did a lot better job of modeling, but again, this is really quickly how to bring this into UnReal. And again, there's all kinds of other tricks that we can make this look even better, but I just was wanting to show you how to plug in the exported thing. And again, I'm going to try the SSS, which is a kind of a skin shader, I think is the way it's packing it out. But again, right here on the roughness patch, that's the beauty of this, is it actually scattering out to metallic roughness, and also the ambient occlusion is packed into there. Your normal map is separate, and then your diffuse map is RGB going right into here. So again, pretty exciting stuff. Definitely apply it and save it. And oops, make sure you save it or apply it before you quit. I think I just crashed it. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording now since I've crashed it.